Hey everyone, it's Big K Horror, aka Kevin, and I'm going to do volume 2 of my horror genre book collection. Okay, this is the second half, and there'll probably be a third one too, because I got a few more to do, but I'm going to carry on. Okay, let's see here. Okay, one of the first ones I'm going to go with here is one I got last year called Italian Horror by Jim Harper. Sorry, I'm going to try to put that in light for you from over my shadow. Anyway, so as you can see, it's got a pretty cool cover. I dig it. It's a collage of, I think this is Blade in the Dark, Cannibal for no, that's Make Them Die Slowly, New York Ripper, and of course Fulci Zombie. And I like this book because it's very well, constructed, and the bind on it's very tight, and I dig it. But now this book is all black and white and mostly text. There's pictures throughout it, but I mean, they have probably every Italian movie that ever came out. Now, I'm not just talking about all the well-known Italian horror ones that came out in the theaters here, or that are well-known from VHS days and even on the DVD and Blu-rays, but even all the television movies that were filmed, because Italy has a lot of thriller, horror films, on the television. So this is covers all that stuff, but also the heavy hitters as well. So as you see, it's got tons of rare ones in there I've never heard of. I never knew Fulci. I knew he had a lot of unwell known films, but him and Roberto Bavo both have ton of horror films from made for TV and stuff like that I never even heard of. So it was really cool to check out that. And that's Italian horror, pretty straightforward. Okay, the next one. Um, this is more Gore Score. Got this years ago. I dig that cover. And it's by Balloon, or yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Chase Balloon. And it's got this cool back cover here. I've always dug from Motel Hell. Actually, front and face this on my bookshelf for so it shows. But anyway, it's pretty much black and white as well, but it's got a lot of rare, different, random horror films. And it's got the stills and posters in them, as you can see here. Um, yeah, it's just got random movies in there, but it's pretty cool. I just want to throw that out there. It's not my favorite, but it's a cool little piece. Okay. Now, this book isn't okay. This book, I'm gonna throw it out there, so don't laugh. But it's not necessarily horror, but it does have a big chapter on the teen '80s and '90s horror themed movies. And it's actually about just the golden age of teenage movies in general. But, so don't laugh, but it's a badass book I gotta throw in there, okay? I'm a fan of all these films. Pretty in Pink, The Golden Age of Teenage Movies by Jonathan Bernstein, okay? And it's got many color and black and white films. It's got a whole chapter on the horror films and just the Brat Pack in general, but also cult films like Heathers. I mean, it's got all of them, all the heavy hitters and the not so well known ones either. So I just wanted to give a shout out to this book because I do dig it. See, there we go, Dead Teenagers. That's a chapter right there. So yeah, it's a pretty fucking badass book. I just want to throw that out there. Gotta love Molly Ringwald. Okay, another one I really dig, The New Horror Handbook. Okay, and that's by A.S. Berman. So I'll just get that A.S. Berman. It's got Wolf Creek on the cover, which I've always loved this picture and the scene right here. And this is the back of it. Right here, you got Inside, Saw 2, and Splice, I believe, right there. I never saw that movie, but it wasn't my thing. But, I mean, it goes into detail about all the stuff that's come out this past decade. Everything from filmmakers who are doing it the DIY style to the complete induction of the Rue Morgue magazine. And its effect on the horror culture in the past 10 years, and even like Fangoria and stuff like that. It's got everything about the Saw films, everything about like other films such as Ginger Snaps, which is has a lot to do with Canadian horror in this book. It's got everything. I'm trying to think here. It's got a lot of different stuff in here, and I can't really name out loud, like Wolf Creek, obviously, from the cover. But it's got a lot to do also with the Splat Pack, which everyone knows is like Eli Roth, Daryl and Bowsman, etc., etc. So it's a book on that, and it's a good, sized book. It's pretty badass. Okay, so moving on. Okay, actually no, my bad. Okay, this Fangoria book. It's pretty cool. It's just like the 101 best horror movies you've never seen, and a lot of movies I was already familiar with in this. Some of them, just a couple I wasn't, but it was still a good read because I dig Fangoria. I've collected their magazine for years, so I wanted to get their companion piece book. And anyway, but it's pretty thick. It's got pictures. It's pretty much black and white though, but it's got so many different random movies in here. Opera, the original Funny Games, Night of the Comet, Ginger Snaps, Manhunter, Lair of the White Worm, Death Machine. Alice Sweet Alice. It's got a lot in there. So okay, another one, The Evil Dead Companion. Okay, and that's by Bill Warren. Okay. Anyway, and this is a really cool book that goes into delves deep into the franchise and then the making of and everything. It's rife with much information, about the production of the movie and everything, the woes, the special effects undertaking, storyboards, everything. It's just really badass. And chapter about 70s horror in there, I believe, too. Another random book, The Horror Movie Collectible Guide, and it's by Aaron Crowley, I believe. And it too is a big color production of all the different, and it's all in alphabetical order, I believe, but it's just all the different collectible stuff out there that one can possibly find and collect. And I believe all these pictures are from the one man's collection too, which is very impressive. But it's got everything from slashers, zombies, comics, creature features, the Universal monsters, all that. Another one, Creep Shows, the films of Stephen King by Stephen Jones. Great book. Pretty decent sized. Great use of color throughout it. It too goes into detail from every movie from the begin to finish of the era of his films that have been adapted to film. And it's full with the TV films, the theatrical films, different adaptations, short films, all that stuff. And it's really just rife with a lot of material. I couldn't recommend it enough if you like any of Stephen King's works as an author or even as his adaptations. So I'd say get it if you like that kind of thing. Okay, another one that I want to showcase that a lot of people do have, but some people don't, and I can't give you enough praise about this book. The complete history of Friday the 13th, and it's titled actually as Crystal Lake Memories, and that is by Peter M. Bracke. Okay, very badass guy, and he put a very commendable piece of work on this. I mean, this is worth every putrid penny you can put into it. It is. It's a big hardback, and I don't know if it's out in softback. I'm not sure, but it's a big hardback, and he's about to also release it as an ebook with some new revisions to it and stuff, updates rather. But it's a heavy hitter with almost every cast member from every film telling their story behind the production, about what filming was like. It goes in order from each film, obviously. So I'm flipping from the back to the forward, but you see the later films here. But it gets even better, when you get to like parts 1 through 4, which were my favorite ones actually, in part 7. But it tells you all the juice you would ever want to know squeezed out, like a bloody pulp from the Friday the 13th franchise. It's in this book right here, and it shows a lot of other stills I've never seen behind the stuff that's never been actually shown before, but that was shot. This is a badass book, and if you like any slasher films, or even especially the Friday the 13th series, like most of us do, you can't go wrong with this book. I guarantee you it's not a waste of any penny that you put into it. It's a damn one of my favorites. I always revisit it sometimes and forget some of the information, I'm not going to lie, but it's always fun to go and revisit and be like, wow, okay, cool. So that's Friday the 13th, the complete history of Friday the 13th, Crystal Lake Memories by Peter M. Bracke. Okay, now the next one's going to be a variation on a theme of the last one, but it too's good. But Crystal Lake Memories is my favorite. But this one's really, really cool too. Making Friday the 13th, and that is by David Grove. It's called The Legend of Camp Blood. Okay, and it's kind of like Crystal Lake Memories. It goes into each film all the way up to Freddy versus Jason, and because it was out before the remakes. But it too is the same thing. It has a lot of the same variety and style, but a little different stuff here and there. Some different stories than were in the other one, but that one had a lot of stories this one doesn't have, and vice versa. But it too is a really cool book. Most of the pictures are black and white, but there's some color ones in here, and that's making a Friday 13th. Okay. Um, my last one I'm gonna throw in there is Nightmare USA, okay? And that is by Stephen Thrower. And this book is, I mean, it's heavy as hell. That's all I gotta say. But you see, the cover has all these exploitation films in the States right there, with the Don't Go in the House on the front smack dab middle cover. And this book, too, is really, like, it goes into all the exploitation films from that past era. And it's going to be a volume 2, I believe, just as big, if not bigger. Oh, and shout out to my buddy Doug. He loves this movie, Don't Go in the Woods. Yeah, there you go, buddy, right there. It talks about all these films. But I would throw some titles in there that does talk about, but right now I'm just, my mind's racing. I can't go into it, but I have read through many of this, and there's always something new to look through in this, Screams on a Winter Night. It talks about some party massacre, The Child. I don't know, just very random. Even some porn films and stuff like that came out by some of those directors of the same films that they did that were independent horror. But it's all of like the bygone era, and it has all. And also, a cool thing about this author is that it's got on the end pack back here, and even the front piece, it's got all the title screenshots from the titles of every film in this, as you see as it appears in the movie. And I'm sorry, it's my shadow's in the way, but there you go. It's a really kick-ass book, but it's pretty expensive, but it's well worth it. Oops. Anyway, so for now that's it, and then there's gonna be another one, a third, maybe a fourth. I have a lot of books on the genre, but there you go. And y'all take it easy, folks. Peace out.